Hey guys, it's Michelle and Renee. So as promised in my previous video, I wanted to give you guys some business tips as well as let you guys know all the processes that I had to take to start my own business. So for starters, one thing I definitely recommend is I need everybody to get a journal, notebook, tablet, whatever you want to call it. You guys need something to write on, and you need to make sure it's secure. You guys need to write down every single thing that pops in your head. Whether I literally leave this on the other side of my bed, so if I wake up in the middle of the night, I write whatever comes to mind down, and before I know it, I have an idea or I have a business name. That's literally how I created my business name, which is Soulful Drip, by the way. but but yeah, that was literally like my first thing. I needed to make sure I wrote every single thing down. That way I could be able to keep track of my notes, and I could kind of just put all my thoughts on paper. Sit there, I brainstorm every single thing that popped in my head. I wanted to brainstorm it all and have it all written down. That way I can go back and use it as reference. So one thing that I wanted to make sure that I did was, you got to figure out what kind of business you want. Do you want a physical business store, or do you want an online business? Me personally, I have an online business. I didn't really want a physical store. I felt like that was more of a hassle than an online store. However, my online store, I will be, keeping my own inventory, and for me, it creates that personal relationship between me and the customer if I am packaging everything by myself, and putting my little thank you notes in there. And I feel like it's more personal. It makes me feel connected to my customers. But one thing I wanted to make sure I did was, I wrote down my plan. You got to figure out what you want to do, what you want to sell, how you want to sell it, where you want to sell it to, who you want to sell it to. And, I literally wrote down, a list of website domains. They have, Squarespace, Spotify, Linktree, Wix, GoDaddy. They got all kinds of different website domain companies. So it's all about, as far as which one is better, I personally like Spotify. I keep saying Spotify. Y'all, it ain't Spotify, it's Shopify. But speaking of Shopify, yeah, I think I finished my website. See, I'm saying Spotify. See, y'all, I'm getting it wrong. Don't anyways. So another thing that I wanted to write out was I actually sketched my own logo. I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more personal for me, so I wanted to do the logo myself instead of having somebody else do it. But I did actually brainstorm and look on Instagram some graphic designers that I could potentially use for my website or for creating my logo if I did not want to. So in the midst of doing all of that, I also brainstormed. I have a little sheet here where I brainstormed different business names. I literally just wrote out any name that popped up in my head, any phrase. If you want to use the word beat, boss, beauty, I wrote it down. Excuse me. Then next, I created a list of advertising. So advertising, I put things like, whether I want to advertise videos, whether I want to do Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I created, different phrases and stuff like that I wanted to use, important phrases and strong words to use in marketing and advertising. And like I said, I literally brainstorm in my journal anything that pops in my head. So then I participate in little webinars. So webinars, I love those, even though at the end they always ask for you to, buy their plans. They're actually giving you very, very good information free in the beginning. If you guys don't want to spend $2,000 or $1,500 on whatever plan and academy that they're offering, you guys don't have to. But I would recommend that you guys do participate in a lot of those online boutique or whatever kind of business webinars that somebody is offering. I do recommend that you guys do definitely check them out, because like I said, they're very informational, especially if you have never owned your own business before. Like me, I did not own my own business before. Never really dreamed of doing it. And it kind of, gave me a good perspective of what I have to look forward to. And it kind of gave me, a good idea of how to start. For starters, I brainstormed payment processes. This right here is actually sketches of my logo that I was thinking about doing. I actually will be putting those logos on t-shirts if you guys want to, check them out. Anyways, one thing that I wanted to do is I always wanted to brainstorm what my goals were. My goals is to always create multiple sources of income. Multiple sources of income can be anything from royalties, equity, dividends, interest, earned income from having a job, or profits that you make from your store. So that's detail. I'm not really going to go through my entire journal, but I will just go ahead and start, since I'm already 5 minutes and I ain't really, start telling you guys the steps. But with that being said, the first thing that I did was I wanted to make sure I went to the Secretary of State website. Now, the thing about this website is, the first thing that you need to do is, first, before you even go to this website, you need to have a name in mind. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to have a name in mind. And, once you create that name, once you got in your mind what name you want to use, you get on the Secretary of State website and you search it. So you search to see if you can find the name to see if it's taken. Now, if you guys want to register the name just for that state, then you get on the Secretary of State website. If you guys want to trademark the name, meaning it'll be protected throughout the United States, meaning nobody else in other states could use that name, then you have to go through the federal process with trademarking, which I'll have to get into that in another video, because that's a video on its own, the trademarking process. So if you got the coins to do trademarking, then be my guest and go ahead and trademark. So that was, first of all, step one. Step one, you want to search their business entity name that you want to use. Step two, if you look on there and it's not taken, then you're good. Step two would be to reserve it. So for the state of Alabama, in order for me to register a business entity name, I have to reserve it first. So they actually charge you $25 to reserve the name for a year. You have a year for that name to be on reserve before you choose whether or not you want to file the name. So for me personally, I decided to do it all in one. So I reserved the name, and then I went ahead and I decided to file for the name. So filing the name, our state charged a $100 fee. To reserve it, it was $25 fee. So if you want your business to be legal, it's not going to be free. I know a lot of people say, hey, you can literally start your own business, your own brand free of charge. That's not true. Yeah, you can start it on paper, but if you want it on legal documents and stuff, you're going to have to pay, honey. You're going to have to pay. No. So after I did the filing process, did everything online. If you guys have any questions on how to do that, I could, just leave a comment and I'll try to, assist you guys as much as I can. Every state website is different. Every state process is different. So I do want to let you guys know that, and every state requires different licensing and permits. So like I mentioned in my previous video, you guys have to research your laws, regulations, and what are the requirements for you to have your own business. And when you fill out the paperwork, make sure you put on there, if you have an online business, make sure you put on there online. Otherwise, they're going to get you confused to think that you have your own physical business, and it's a whole different ball game. So step one, search the name. 2, reserve the name. 3, I registered the name. So the state of Alabama actually gives me the registration for my name immediately. I print it off PDF form. I print off a copy of it, and I also save it into my computer in my business file. I want to make sure I have as many copies as possible, because you only have a certain amount of time to be able to access your PDF certificate. It's actually called Certificate of Formation. So if you have a certificate of formation, that means your business is legal. Your business has legally been registered with your state, and you are good to go as far as your business go. Now, one thing that I definitely had to make sure I had to get a business license. So the business license here where I am, I'm thinking the business license is going to be, something fancy. It really wasn't. They actually call it business privilege permit. And what that allows me to do is, it's literally, the permit is literally within the license. So they put at the bottom of the license the different type of permit that I had. And for online, I had to get an electronic shopping permit, which was all included, but that was $42. So like I said, if you want to start your own business and make sure that everything is legal, so if the IRS decide to audit you later on, or, they try to say that you're trying to do some fraud, or, anything can happen. Somebody can steal your idea. Somebody can literally steal your entire business if you don't properly register it. They can register they can literally trademark your name or register your name, and you have nothing. You can't even prove that it's your business because you did not legally do it to cover yourself. Now, so I went through the business license process. I had to do that through my county. And so it's different in some states. Us in particular, we had to do it through the county. Literally had to fill it out by hand, mail it in. Some states I have it where you guys can fill it out online. If you guys do, that is awesome, because I had to do money order and that whole shebang bang. Now, one thing I had to do, so after I did all the licenses, got the permits, and it's the waiting process. Next, I actually had to go on the Alabama Department of Revenue. So you need to go to your state Department of Revenue website and sign up for you have to register for sales taxes. Uncle Sam want his money. He want his coins. He's going to get his coins. Okay. You have to make sure you do that. Otherwise, your ass is going to end up being grass when it comes down to filing your taxes. It may not get you now. They may not get you next year, but they will get you. Make sure you register for a sales tax license, or some states a seller's permit. They call it all different things in different states, but for me, it was actually free to register. They sent me my sales tax license and it was free. They give you about 5 days. 5 days, they let you know whether or not you qualify for it, which I don't know any reasons why, you wouldn't qualify for it. But, if you have any questions regarding that with your state requirements and stuff, I would definitely recommend that you guys call your Department of Revenue office, not the IRS. Don't call the IRS. Call your state Department of Revenue office when it comes down to your sales tax. Now, they can answer your questions about business revenue taxes, because they'll answer your questions about anything. Now, when it comes down to tax forms, then you'll have to contact the actual IRS, which nobody really wants to do because you'll be on hold for an hour. But anyways, same thing with the county. If you guys have any questions on, local tax, some states, whether you have an online business or not, they still charge you for, state, county, and local tax. Everybody wants their money. But like I said, it all depends on what you guys, what state you guys live in. So once you do that, they're actually going to send you a sales tax license in the mail, I'll say within 2 weeks. Once the real vendors, now I'm gonna have to do a separate video talking about the vendors, but I will tell you guys this. When it comes down to vendors, do not order from a vendor that does not ask you for your license. And the reason why I say that, because there's vendors all over. Of course, a lot of people order from Alibaba and AliExpress and all of them. And I mean, that's good. People who drop ship, they really don't have a choice but to drop ship from, companies like that. And they don't ask for your sales tax license. But one thing that I like is I would definitely recommend that you guys find a local wholesale company. Because for one, you can get your product a lot faster. They're legit. You definitely don't have to worry about, I wonder, is this made in the US? How is this going to fit us? How are the sizes? You don't really have to worry about any kind of weird foreign sizes or anything like that. So I found a local vendor, and the local vendor actually, they were very, very cooperative, and I could literally order something in the morning and get it that evening. Literally same day. So that's one thing I like about the vendors. But you would definitely want a vendor that does not sell to everybody, because it takes the secrecy from everything. If anybody can buy it, that's just me personally. I really don't want to get vendors like that who literally anybody can buy from. But I mean, hey, it's your choice. moving along. Now, let's see, where am I at? Oh, so on the when it comes down to the taxes and stuff like that, you have to pay, well, I'm not gonna say you, I have to pay a business privilege tax every year. So once I applied for my sales tax license, I have to file my sales and my local tax return every single month. Whether you make money or not, you have to file sale and local tax every single month. That's the requirement here in Alabama. For business privilege tax, every year. The best thing that I like about their Department of Revenue office is they have a website particularly for taxes. It's myalabamatax.com, I think it is. And it literally has all my tax accounts all in one. Business privilege, local tax, sales tax, it literally has it all in one. So I can literally file my tax return and it keeps track of it. It literally keeps up with the amount of money, every period that you had that you file. And it, like I said, it covers you when it comes down to the end when you have to file for your state income tax check, state or federal income tax. So I'm trying to make sure I cover as much as I can with you guys, because this right here was very, very new to me. Like, I did not know anything about any of this. A lot of the videos that I've seen, people were pretty much telling me what to do without telling me how to do it. And nobody said that, it depends on your own state. It depends on how you do things, in your state. It depends on the type of permits. No website gave me any kind of examples. Even on YouTube, there was no YouTube videos that gave me so much as an example of the different type of permits or licensing that I would need. So like I mentioned in the last video, I would definitely recommend that you guys do your research and check out to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you need. And if, when in doubt, I'll say, call your county, call your county clerk's office, because that's actually what I had to go through to do my business license. And you guys have any kind of questions regarding taxes or anything like that, Department of Revenue, have any questions regarding your business entity registration and reserving your name and stuff like that, I'll say call your Secretary of State. But if you guys have any questions or any kind of things that you guys want me to go over following the rest of my videos, please don't hesitate to comment at the bottom of my video, because I know, like, my mind is definitely scattered when it comes down to this, because it's so much information. Like, it's literally so much information. It could be so overwhelming. But one thing I would definitely recommend, like I mentioned before, definitely get a notebook. Get a ledger so you could keep up with your profits, your expenses, and stuff like that. Because I literally, I have my expenses written down in 4 different areas. And remember, everything that you buy for your company or for business purposes, they're taxable. Taxable deductions. They will be deductions during tax time. Personally, I have a LLC. That's something else I did not go over. I did not go over the type of business entity that you would need. Research them first. Research them, because I thought in my mind, hey, I should get a corporation. Corporation did not fit what I was doing. Like, it's just me. My sole proprietor, when I actually registered for my business entity name, sole proprietor was not an option on there. A lot of people say DBA. You could do DBA since it's just you, which is doing business as. That ain't an option either. You can't really register your company name under sole proprietor and DBA, because sole proprietor is you. However, I wanted to make sure that all my expenses and everything was separate from my personal taxes and stuff like that, my personal accounts. I want to make sure that if my company ever bankrupts, I want to make sure that that the bank or IRS does not touch my own personal, funds or anything like that. So the best option for me was LLC. You know, like I said, that's what worked for me. That's what I wanted. I would say definitely Google pros and cons when it comes down to, you know, whether or not you want a corporation, a LLC, or whether or not you just don't want to create a name and you just want everything in your name. Personally, I didn't want everything in my name. Like I said, I just wanted to keep everything separate. You know, I wanted to create a brand for my family, and I just, like I said, wanted to keep everything separate. But like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything that you guys think that I should go over, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely make sure I do a video on it. You all guys can also check me out on TikTok. I will try to post, you know, little small tips that come to mind on there as well. And you guys have a good day.